Hi guys. Mature manure, such a similar word, and mature manure is probably the most potent. So I've had a blocked pipe for the last 3 weeks and it was fixed the other day. But the weird thing is that my outward expression had been blocked for 3 weeks too. So as far as synchronicity is concerned, or the external being a reflection of my internal, I found it was interesting to observe this. So far this morning I've outlined 3 videos since that pipe was unblocked. I got this friend and one of her favourite sayings is, do not burst somebody else's bubble unless you've got something better to replace it with. So in other words, if somebody's seriously full of shit and enjoying that state of being full of shit and not really doing any harm to anyone because of being full of shit, then don't take the toy away. The older I get, the more full of shit I am. And the more and more I got a clearer crap out of inside of me, some of it is not serving me at all. And you know, like everybody at the moment seems to be talking about us coming together, but the actual reflection of that I see is that more and more and more there's division and separation. But within that division and separatedness, I see my friends becoming very empowered. I had a friend visit last weekend and I hadn't seen her for about a year. And she had very much been on her own spiritual quest during this time, for want of a better description. But the change in her and how much more fluently we talked, we always talked really well, but on this occasion we jumped from subject to subject and each of us was able to float in the unknowable or unrecognisable. I think flying far higher than we ever had before. It was more recognisable because I hadn't seen her in such a long time. Because we've become mature manure, I'm not saying that we're necessarily right, we might just be full of shit. So let's talk about sharing the mature manure, shall we? Can we do it through vibrational intent or through sympathetic resonance? But hang on a second. There, right in the middle of the word sympathetic, is pathetic. I know that when I was studying to become a counsellor, that one of the hardest things for me to learn was to openly listen and not have the need to associate it to myself, which in essence is sympathy. So maybe part of this path is to remove the sympathetic responses and instead perhaps take an empowered action. Like for instance, making a cup of tea for a person, and whilst you're pouring the water in and they're pouring their heart out, you're making the cup of tea and putting in the intention into the cup while stirring it, that this will assist the person to overcome their grief. That's just an example. So it's all vibration, this shit. Vibration or intent or empowering empathetic resonance. There's the pathetic word again. Makes me wonder, is it saying that as soon as we energetically connect through the ego with another, that we are then disempowered? Through observation, the message or the meme out there is us versus them. They play with this game in all kinds of ways, highlighting the differences between you and I. If you're not in my gang, then you're the enemy. If I was to no longer see the difference or feel the need to change it or it be similar to me, then would I be free? This may be entirely unrelated, but a number of years ago I did a lot of research on adopted children. And one of the aspects which was highlighted was essentially a parent falls in love with a child, and when that child either externally looks like the parent or portrays behaviour that's adopted by the child, same word, that it reflects in aspects of self, like, look, oh, he's got my nose, and therefore I love him. Or look, he kicks the ball just like I do. But in essence, we are all seeking that which we recognise as being us. So what if we were mindfully to start loving the difference? Would this feeling of separation disappear? The necessity for us to become sovereign in our own right without the need to influence others or be like them, or for them to agree with us on anything. All of those things, after all, just create an expectation in others. And as I've said before, Jupiter supposedly cursed humanity with the expectation and hope. So what does it take for us to become sovereign? maybe that's the crown meme, meaning the crown corona thing, that sovereignty is somehow being in a total empowered state without the need to be sympathetic or empathetic, that we just are. We're just being. It's the connection that's the damage to us, or the seeking of it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not in any way suggesting that we should become cold-hearted individuals that no longer feel anything, but it's looking more and more like this sixth sun consciousness is driving us that way, that we become empowered within ourselves and then are able within the group to inspire others to also become inspired, but not any way, shape or form through force, just through being. Anyway, that's it from me today. Ta-ta for now.